Thank you for tuning in again to Chicano Tube. Don't forget to do that big three. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell. When you hit the bell, hit the all button. That way you're notified every single time I go live or drop a video like I'm dropping today. I highly appreciate all my day oneers. We just smashed through 5K. It's because you guys are supporting the message, are knowing that it's more than a pinchy channel. No, this is not just a canal, it's a movement, and it's our voice, and our voice will be heard. If you're new to the channel because you came over from the 90s party line or you came over from the Super Love Jam, those shows are still the flagship shows, will never go anywhere. Just reminds me where I came from. They'll never go anywhere. But we just expanded. Now it's Chicano Tube. You know what I mean? And this is what we do. We get together. Juntos estamos más fuertes. Y unidos vamos a seguir. Let's go ahead and get into. Oh, and gracias to all the members only as well. The backbone of the community. That's that blue join button right there. If you want to, it's something 99. You could hit that blue join button right there, and they get exclusive content, other things. You go in there, you'll see the little bio on what it's about. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's a lot of people's cup of tea. I talk about those stories all day long. Let's go ahead and get into what the title of this video is about. Something that's still being talked about. Why? Because this was actually just published on July 4th. So this is an update article to something that happened on July 1st. Okay, so this is because it's from the Casa Blanca. So if it's in the Casa Blanca, I think it's newsworthy. Secondary testing of powder found in the West Wing lobby of the White House was confirmed to be cocaine. President Biden was briefed on the investigation and said it is, quote, incredibly important for the Secret Service to determine how it got there. That was from the president himself. Okay. Washington, Associated Press. The White House was briefly evacuated Sunday. So I think this was July 1st. Yeah, it wasn't the weekend. We just came back, Reno. It wasn't this one. It was July 1st. But the update came to confirm what was the substance that was found there. Imagine that. Before we get into it, hold on. At least let me get a paragraph, right? Let me get a paragraph down. The White House was briefly evacuated Sunday evening while President Joe Biden was at Camp David after the Secret Service discovered suspicious powder in a common area of the West Wing. A preliminary test showed the substance was cocaine. Two law enforcement officials said Tuesday. Secret Service agents were doing routine rounds on Sunday when they found the white powder in an area accessible to tour groups, not in any particular West Wing office, the official said. Because that sounds like conflicting stories. I think there's already been an update on that update saying no, it was in an area exclusive mutually to people. It was by the situation room. So you're going to tell me that tourists go? No. So I'm already thinking that maybe this newspaper article is not giving it to it straight. There's a red flag right there. The complex was evacuated at 8:45 Sunday as fire emergency crews were brought in to do a rapid test, which preliminarily identified it was the yayo. The White House was soon reopened, and the powder was sent for further testing. And the update is now that it has come back as positive in an exclusive area. So, what's the situation here? Well, one, it looks like is a total embarrassment as a country that we're standing here and inside our White House, I mean, this is a place they can't find how it got there. This isn't your kitchen's cookie jar. This is the White House, which I've heard has hundreds and hundreds. Someone said 700. Over 700 security cameras. And you're telling me that you can't tell us who the culprit is and how it got there? Be it one way or another, nothing new. Cameras get turned off. Wink, you know what I mean. When all of a sudden something's convenient for them, the cameras weren't turned off. And then there's a fall guy, or a fall girl, or a couple fall guys. I know. One of the most embarrassing things is on 4th of July, hitting the balcony next to Pops, stepmom, the kids, everyone, right? and rubbing his pinche nariz and peinándose el pelo acelerado. I mean, a la chingada acelerado. That's some crazy shit, man. And what's even crazier is que no vas a oír tanto de esto because if they want, they can make it disappear. But since there's now, thankfully, we're in an age where there's a lot of alternate media, like Chicano Tube. There's a lot of alternate media out there that are going to get you the truth, that are going to get you the facts. Because we're coming up next year. I'm not going to make it a long video and dive into national politics too long. But next year, you're going to start seeing all kinds of desmadre all over the news, shit blowing up. Te van a querer acelerarte, make your blood boil, and tell you it's like this, it's like that on every street corner in the United States. And you heard it here first. I told you trucha. I told you watch out con las pinches noticias. This right here is just, I believe if you sit inside that office, it's a very high office. And it should have the highest level of honor in the country, period. I believe it. That is very respectable, just like it would be being one of the pinche generals in el ejército. You know what I mean? You see those generals, they don't take no bullshit. They're the, like Pearl Harbor, right? They're the ones that step forward if you accept this mission. True. And pinche 20 generals step forward, okay? Either that or that's the way they have them come off. Who knows? We're just seeing these movies and we're like, oh shit, we want to be like John Wayne because the motherfucker's leaking testosterone everywhere he go and he's a man's man. I'm digressing. Anyways, I'm here to point out this fact as you get ready. We come up on 2024. Ultimately, I leave it in the people's court. Is that a ruler que vamos a seguir siguiendo? Someone had commented on the last video and they said, Mikey, break that down a little bit more about the GDP. I told the cabron, I said, go look up the GDP in Mexico right now that is outpacing the GDP. At least we have already a second complete quarter in the books. Look it up. That means profit and loss. That's the exchange of commerce. They're beating us and they're higher, and we're almost at 8% unemployment. And no one's talking about that. Just coming from Reno, where they're barely paying $4 for gas. The pinche carne asada is $3.99, and no wonder a lot of people do exodus. They bounce. They jam. I know a lot of people personally that within lo que pasó, within the last couple years, they left to like the southern part of Utah, the northern part of Arizona, that little part where it hits, Califas in there, and they're just like, you know what, I'm only going to visit California. I'm not going to make it somewhere where I'm permanently go. Why? Because I'm going to stretch my dollar. And obviously, if there's more dollars in my pocket, my family has a better life. And if my family has a better life, what's the motto? Dios, familia y cultura. Then we're good, right? Ultimately. This is an embarrassment. That's what I will say. This shouldn't be swept under the carpet. Investigate shit. How come el pinche vato barely a couple weeks ago, same time, remember I said it on the channel right here. I said, so same time, and I'm not trying to downplay any situations. Don't get it twisted and start putting words in my mouth. The same time que arrestan los pinches hermanos, the Tate brothers, and the same time that submersible, all of a sudden that $1 million trip down to the Titanic happens when he gets indicted and pleads guilty on federal charges. We're going to talk about it here. I'll leave it up to the people's court. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Many more videos coming soon. We got the Wednesday live open talk that it's going to be good. I've got something cooking for you guys, and it's not going to disappoint. So don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Shout out to the DP, the director of photography, the beautiful, sexy wife. Also, shout out DJ Cholo, the audio executive producer. Remember what I always say, though? In the end, all you got is the memories.